What's going on, guys? Army Teacher in the house, and I am here with the GPL Week 10 Pickems. You're all gonna have some fun with this one, I think. Trancel, say hello, my friend.
Hello. Yes.
This
A
week,
little bit different this time.
yeah, this week definitely has some rather fun matchups, including the last one, which you're not gonna want to miss. There is something very special planned for that one, but we will get there as and when we get there. So if you haven't watched these Pick'em videos before, as you can see on either side of me, there is going to be both teams of a match that's going on this week, and Trancel and I break down what we think is going to be important, what do we think is going to be good in the matchup, and who we think is going to win. So, game number one is going to be our unfortunate bottom place versus Crimpix, of course, versus Agoshi, who is still in the playoff fight, but having not played me this week, and I'll talk about that in another video, he's put himself in a very difficult position right now. So, how do you see this one turning out, Trancel?
Well, if it goes ahead, have to favor Goshi, just in general, but matchup-wise, could be interesting.
I can definitely see some potential for Crimpix's team. I do like Gardevoir quite a little bit in the match, particularly as a Crocodile Lancer. It also can handle Weavile relatively well as Virizion and Starmie. Alongside that, I like Victini in this matchup too. I mean, Victini is one of my favorite Pokemon, so I'm biased towards that thing. But I think Crimpix does have some tools for this match. It's just the question of, can Crimpix finally use his tools correctly? Which we haven't seen all season so far, and we're into week 10 now, and there's only 3 more matches left to play, including this one, so...
Or we just watch Mega Wild absolutely get an SD and just decimate the team.
That is also a thing, absolutely. But that is something that Agoshi hasn't done that well at using this season so far. His Mega Mawile and his Darmanitan, I've said it multiple times over, are a couple of Pokemon he's not been able to use optimally all season, but they are such powerhouses offensively, especially on the physical side. Nidoqueen could be interesting. Nidoqueen sitting in there is a rather tricky little option. It does definitely present Mawile an issue, and Darmanitan as well, because if he runs like full bulk, full physical bulk especially, then they have a hard time breaking through it. So it is going to be interesting to see if this match actually goes ahead. Agoshi seems to have disappeared for a while, and B, how it does play out. I do expect this mechanically to be an easy win for Agoshi, but there is no guarantees in Draft League. We see a lot of upsets across the season. Hopefully Crimpix does get one at some point. I really want him to win. I keep saying this, I do want him to win, but my faith is just gone. Yeah. Dear. But yeah, I think this is a Agoshi backup for me if it goes ahead.
Yep. Have to agree with this one.
Alright, coming in, battle number 2. I put this here just because I'm kind of curious on this one. We don't know much about Yerufa as of yet. I don't believe he's played the second match he's had so far since joining. He's up against a very informed DJ. DJ, of course, with that rain team. Stupidly obnoxious, but I do think Yerufa has opportunities to take advantage of the rain as well, particularly with that Kabutops.
Yeah, for sure. I think he can possibly get away without running Politoed at all, and just abuse it that way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Gashadon can definitely be a little annoying. Obviously, there's grass coverage in Menifee. And
yeah.
And Ferrothorn.
And Ferrothorn's there as well. Xurkitree gets Energy Ball. So, yeah, there's quite a lot of different things that could potentially be a thing. But one of the things that I noticed from Yerufa's first game is how interestingly he plays around his Skarmory, often phasing around entry hazards, which could definitely be annoying for DJ if rocks are up. Pelipper doesn't really want to take rocks at all. He would want to keep that thing as healthy as possible. So I'd be interested to see if he tries to adopt a similar strategy. We have seen DJ have a couple of issues with entry hazards, all being phased around so he can't take advantage of those rain turns. So it'll be interesting to see if there's any way for Yarufa to be able to disrupt DJ from using his rain optimally. And that's what I'm looking for. There is the potential, of course, for sticky webs on Slurpuff. Slurpuff can be interesting in this matchup, does need to be careful of the Mega Scissor and the Cavalion, and potentially the Magneton, depending on if we see them. But at the moment, we still only see one Z user on Yarufa, and I'm not sure Cavalion is his best Z user. I would like to see Kabutops be on there, because Kabutops with Rockium Z is actually incredibly powerful. It's something that I've used it myself on ladder before. I kind of want to see it. But yeah, we haven't seen any of that as of now. So as of this week, this is how the matchup is going to look. I'm not really sure how to call this. I like Yarufa's defensive playstyle. I like the way he played the first time I saw him. I haven't seen if he's able to replicate that yet, but I'm definitely interested into seeing what he can do against a very strong DJ. We do have high hopes for DJ, of course. He's currently number 1 in that sword division. But with Crasher breathing down his neck, I do think he needs to keep winning. I'm not sure where to put this. It's a hard one to call when we've only got information on one player. You know what? I'm actually gonna bite the bullet here. I'm gonna say Yarufa wins.
I'm gonna go with DJ. I'm going to not predict the unknown, or against the unknown.
Yeah, absolutely. But like for me, I just feel like things like the phasing, I like Sylveon quite a bit as well, particularly against Kingdra and Conkeldurr. Obviously you have to be careful of Ferrothorn. But yeah, I do like certain picks on Yarufa's team, and if he can use them optimally and abuse the rain that DJ brings, I think there's a chance for an upset here. And so I'm going to put my money on that. And DJ's probably going to flame me in the Discord server for it after he sees it, but I don't mind. This is the fun of Pickems. Alright. Battle number 3 then is going to be 2 newcomers to the league. They both started late on in the season. Nitro, who picked up his first win in quite impressive fashion against Dizzy, and Solo, who we both know as a very aggressive player. So I'm really interested in this matchup for 2 reasons. One, I'm really happy that Nitro got his first win. He played very well, much better than his first game against Exo. And Solo, who has been a little hit and miss, but I do appreciate his aggression, and I like the way that he plays. So it's a very interesting playstyle matchup, because both players can be quite aggressive. Nitro tends to hit what's in front of him, which may be a bit of a problem, but both of these players have 2 Megas that I'm huge fans of, Megalop and Mega Medicham. I usually give the matchup favor to Medicham, despite Lopunny being faster, but Lopunny doesn't hit Medicham that well, outside of Fake Out and Return, so that's why I put Medicham ahead. But yeah, there's a lot of battles between these 2 teams that could be interesting. What is worth noting for Solo, while we are at it, is Solo dropped Gyarados for Zoroark and then traded that Zoroark for Dinistrio's Silvally. And now Gyarados is no longer a Z user, of course, because it's not in the team, and has been replaced by that Volcarona. So how do you see that playing out, and how do you see that making a difference for Solo's team in this match?
Yeah, I think Volcarona's pretty huge in this, barring obvious keeping the hazards off from really Garchomp, right? That's the only thing.
And Arrow as well, because Arrow naturally outspeeds Volcarona pre-Quiver Dance, so that's something to bear in mind.
If he's able to get Quiver Dance, but I guess Volcarona getting a Quiver Dance almost in any matchup could be mighty scary.
Oh, absolutely. Volcarona is one of the most annoying sweepers in the game. I actually had it in the PUL. Had a very nice little Volcarona sweep with Quiver Dance, Fiery Dance, so I kept getting special attack boosts. So yeah, it's definitely scary. And it's, in my opinion, the best Z user on Solo's team, because we can't obviously use Omni Boost in Porygon Z, for example, and things like that. So yeah, definitely fascinating. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing how it plays out.
It'll be definitely interesting with how he positions the Silvally, obviously with Parting Shot to like set up his sweepers and.
It does also get U-turn as well. If you don't feel like parting shot is an option, obviously as it's not a Z move user, so we're not gonna see normal Z parting shot every single time like Denisio kept bringing. We are hopefully gonna see some different types for Silvally. I do want to see some different types because we haven't seen a lot. And given the fact that there is there's not many types that Solo doesn't have, but it will be interesting to see if he can adapt it.
I don't really see Torterra coming this game, so maybe he wants to make it a ground type, possibly.
Could be a thing. Would have to be careful of Venusaur though, and Milotic, which are two mons that Nitro definitely likes. So I wouldn't at all be surprised to see them come. But yeah, I don't know who to call this one. I'm not gonna lie. Like, if this was last week, I'd have backed Solo 100% of the time. But now I've seen Nitro actually win a game against a tough opponent. I'm almost tempted to lean towards Nitro. Ooh. You know what? I bit the bullet in the last match. I'm gonna do it again. I'm backing Nitro this match.
I'm backing Solo, my boy.
Of course, gotta back your team builder. Alright. Battle number 4 then. I'm excited for this match for the opposite reason as the last one. Because I feel like this one's going to be a battle of who makes the least mistakes. It's going to be Sylvie versus Pelly, of course. Two people that actually have a bit of fun in the Discord. I do like Pelly's memes on the Discord that he plans to lose every game, which is quite fun to me. And Sylvie, of course, who is finally starting to try things out and start trying to change up and not bring the same thing every week. But he's still struggling because he's still bringing too many similar stuff. Like, he's still bringing Carmine Megaladi, of course, not being able to utilize the Keldeo Landawai, Rabombi sweeping potential. We haven't actually seen his match from week 9 yet, if I remember correct. So...
He played Sylvie.
Yeah.
I mean, sorry. He played DJ.
Oh, he played DJ. Oh, yeah. Well, that...
It was fairly interesting.
Yeah.
He made some good predictions in it, but wasn't enough.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to sit and watch that game yet because I've been busy with work lately, so I haven't had a chance to sit and watch every match yet. But
yeah,
I always still don't have this trust for Sylvie at the moment. I just find it hard to trust him to bring something completely different. Like, he did try something different against me. He brought Jolteon against me and then promptly traded it out when his matchup against DJ was insane. So I was surprised to see it go. But yeah, I feel like Pelly's one of those players that now he's all in on Trick Room as his viable option. I'll be interested to see if he can use that to counter some of Sylvie's pace. Because things like the Keldeo's got good speed, Lando's got good speed, Rabombi's exceptionally fast, Megaladi's got a decent speed tier as well. Things like Lilligant and Sun, Muse at base 100's not bad. There's a few quick mons on Sylvie's team that actually could be really bad for him because Trick Room really countering it. Things like that Crabominable Incineroar is really strong in Trick Room, so is Cathagragus. Obviously things like the Mega Alakazam is kind of not so good in Trick Room, but that Trick Room option could be interesting. I do kind of like Tangrowth quite a fair bit. Tangrowth with an Assault Vest could be interesting, particularly when Sylvie's got quite a specially offensive team. So I could definitely see an Assault Vest with like Hidden Power Ice potentially being a thing for that Lando. It does get things like Rock Slide as well, Knock It Off, get Sludge Bomb. So it does get quite a lot of coverage moves that could cause Sylvie some problems. I won't be surprised to see it. Looking alongside it, I like Arzu as well. Arzu is actually surprisingly strong here. It does beat the Keldeo 1v1, it beats Megaladi 1v1. Can also beat Linoon, depending on the Arzu set. If it does run Superpower, Linoon doesn't stand a chance. Yeah, I think Arzu is actually really good here.
I like Vikavolt. AV Vikavolt could be interesting.
You know, I've never seen AV Vikavolt, ever.
Really?
Never seen it. No, I'd love to see it.
I've seen it a few times, though.
I think a lot of the time when I see Vikavolt, I see, like, Life Orb Sweeper.
Yeah. Seen a lot of people utilize, like, more defensive sets in draft. for it actually.
Yeah, so
You can do a lot of things that I didn't even expect. You can
yeah,
obviously learn Roost and...
I would love to try and draft Vigavolt at some point. Because I have never used it, and I really want to try it out. Because there's a lot of mons I haven't tried in draft that or even in competitive, I'd love to try. But yeah, like I actually like Pelly's matchup. But this is a case of there are two players here that we can't necessarily trust to win a game. It's such a difficult
we'll
position.
watch Pelly miss like 7 focus blasts on.
Yeah, he might miss a couple of rock slides on the Tangrowth, you know. He might even find a way to miss like Sludge Bomb on Tangrowth or something.
No, I don't even know why you'd use Focus Blast really in this matchup anyway, so...
I mean, it catches Linoon on the switch.
Yeah, but
that's
like Psychic probably just one-shots it, most likely.
Most likely. I was just trying to give some kind of justification for him to run Focus Blast. Because knowing Pelly, he'll find a reason. But yeah. I'm not sure. I think just because I don't trust either player to close out a game, I'm just going to pick this one based on matchup, and I think Pelly's matchup is better than Sylvie's. So at this point, I'm going to pick Pelly to win this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Pelly as well.
Awesome, so
I banter with him a lot, so...
Yeah, I love his banter. It's just so much fun. He's been such a great addition to the league, no matter what happens.
Yeah.
Alright, coming in number 5. We're now into hype match territory, which is really cool this week. We got 2 of my very good friends up against each other, which pains me when I'm having to pick one to win. But we of course got Denistrio and Exo, both fighting for playoff spots. Which is very much worth noting. Exo is potentially in a driving seat if he does beat Gecko Kami this week for week 9 match, which got extended. He actually jumps up to number 3 seed in the league, in the division, so that's an important one. But yeah, let's talk about this one. Now, obviously Denistrio has made a couple of changes. He has actually got the beneficiary of having Zoroark for Silvally, and he has traded his Typhlosion for X-Cloud, which is the reverse of an earlier trade in the season with Shadow AX. He hasn't confirmed his new Z yet. I did message him in the Discord server and he hasn't had a chance to respond yet. He's probably busy. But yeah, at that point, that's the only real 2 changes. So he doesn't have Silvally or Typhlosion, he has Zoroark and X-Cloud. Will that make too much of a difference? I'm not really sure. I don't like Zoroark in his matchup against Exo, so I don't think Zoroark's really that strong here. And X-Cloud I don't see coming either, because Harlucha just ruins it, as does Kartana. So, I'm not really too sure about that, honestly, but looking at this objectively, I think these 2 played before, didn't they?
No. These are week 10 matches. I don't think anybody's played each of them.
I'm not sure if they did play each other. I'm just looking this up to see if they did.
This is also
no. So that's
the first terrain battle as well, possibly.
It could be, yeah, both tappers. It will be interesting to see if Harlucha does come, knowing that. I think Harlucha has to come. Harlucha hits quite a lot of Denistrio's team. He doesn't really appreciate a lot of hits from Harlucha. Harlucha gets so many coverage options, which does make it difficult. Another mod that I think Exo has used extremely well so far since he's had it is Delphox. I like Delphox in this matchup as well. Delphox, particularly against Mega Beedrill, if he runs Scarf, he actually outspeeds and does a hell of a lot of damage to it, because Beedrill, of course, being really frail, doesn't really appreciate taking a Fire or a Psychic hit very well. Another thing I'd be interested to see is if Denistrio continues to rely on that Kommo. Kommo this week has a very awkward matchup. It loses mostly to Tapu Koko. It can lose to Harlucha thanks to acrobatics and stuff like that. Even things like Delphox and Crobat take it on relatively well, so I don't think Kommo can afford to come. But we know Denistrio has had a bit of a tendency to rely on it of late. So he will have to adapt to that strategy if he wants a chance of winning this match. But honestly, go for it.
I like Metagross in this matchup. quite a lot.
Ooh,
Actually,
Metagross is actually really tough. Depending on the set he
yeah,
brings.
he can bring a lot of different sets on what he wants to focus.
Hmm. I mean, if I remember correctly, I don't remember
he could
he's
even
got offensive.
run Scarf possibly.
Good. He absolutely could. My only concern if he brings Metagross is how does it guarantee beat Magnezone? Because Magnezone of course traps it and picks it off with a revenge kill if Exo runs his rather typical Scarf Magnezone set, which is he's been running of late. Metagross of course is pretty slow, so even if you do Scarf it, it doesn't necessarily outspeed Scarf Magnezone. I can't remember Metagross' speed here, but I know it's not super fast.
It's 70, so it is faster.
Oh, it is faster.
So
okay. Yeah, so that'll be the interesting
EQ
thing for me.
or Hammer Arm. So
yeah. Unless Exo decides to play the bluff game and actually run Sturdy. Which...
Full focus Sash.
Which is funny as it is, I have done it
So
before.
what are those?
I have done it. Because it's so easy, because of course everyone expects Magnapool, because that's what Magnezone normally does. So you can especially see some very troll sets with like Focus Sash or, you know, even run Sturdy, not run Magnapool. Because that could even bait the Metagross into running like a Shed Shell to be able to try and get away from Magnezone. Could happen. Stranger things have happened. I think there are some interesting picks on both sides that could definitely swing it either way. I'd like to see if Exo actually brings Mega Glalie for a change. We haven't seen a lot of it all season. This match may not be the worst match to do it in, because without the Typhlosion anymore, that's one fire type that he can get away from. It's just Volcanion and Alolan Whack. Volcanion is outsped by Mega Glalie, and Alolan Whack I don't think comes close, because it's more of a Trick Room one. So that'll be the interesting factor for me, is if Mega Glalie can actually come. Does get Earthquake, does hit the Volcanion, so I'll be interested to see if he does choose to bring it. If not, we'll probably see things like the Seismitoad come again.
Yeah, he likes to favour Cloisters, seems like.
Although he didn't against me, the swine, he brought Crustle instead. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if Exo does continue to all-in this hyper offense and how well he can use it in this matchup. So, time to pick one.
I'm going with Exo.
Just because I'm worried if I back against him, he won't let me be admin anymore. I think I'll back Denisha just for the fun of it. And that way he can flame me if he loses, because I gave him bad luck. Alright. Oh dear. Coming in, battle number 6 this week. This one's going to be an interesting one. Two people that I don't always feel convinced by. It's going to be Dizzy versus Crasher. Dizzy took a rather somewhat disappointing loss to Nitro. Nitro just outplayed him. Does continue to prove my point about Dizzy being horrendously inconsistent. And Crasher, of course, on a dominating win streak right now. I don't really see how he's going to be stopped at this point. So this match could potentially be one-sided, but we know Dizzy by now. He does tend to try and pull up something out of the hats. He is a very creative team builder. How do you see this one turning out?
I think Crash's bulk is possibly a little too much in this.
I mean, we say this all the time now. This team is incredibly bulky, but it hits surprisingly hard at the same time. Like, yes, Toxapex is generally passive, so is Mandibuzz. But when you look at things like Jirachi, you see even things like Drampa hits hard, Zygarde 50, Mega Tito's got a monstrous attack stat.
Yeah.
There's a lot of offense
Tito's
there.
Good.
It is just going to be a question of can Crasher beat this Mega Aggron without Mega Aggron doing too much to him. That's going to be one of the key parts, I think. Gengar is also pretty interesting to me. It does struggle against the Zygarde, but it can beat quite a lot of this team. Especially with the coverage options it gets. We could actually see T-Tar versus Mega T-Tar, which would be funny. That could be kind of an interesting dynamic. Sigilif has a chance to be okay. Depends on what set he brings. But yeah, I think this one is a fairly simple call to me, because I'm convinced by Dizzy, but I'm a little bit more convinced by Crasher. Depends on which Crasher turns up. If the right attitude Crasher comes up, then this is an easy win. But if he doesn't come in with the right attitude, I wouldn't be surprised if Dizzy makes an upset. But I'm going to back Crasher here, I think.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Crasher as well.
Alright, prove us wrong, Dizzy. I'd love to see it. Right. Battle number 7 is going to be Okami. Thanks for messaging me. Hey, by the way, to tell me to call you Okami instead of Gek. I do appreciate that. Again, Shadow, of course. No, this one's a fun match for me. I think at this point, mathematically, Okami, if he loses to EXO, he's out of playoffs. Which is a double-edged sword in a way, because obviously he's got nothing to play for, but then he's got nothing to lose. Again, Shadow, who kind of has a lot to lose right now, having lost these last 2 matches in a row. He actually is in a rather awkward spot for playoffs, because he's now right in the hunt for it, with Denisio, Agoshi, and EXO all right around him. Of course, if EXO beats Okami, he in the Week 9 match that got extended, and EXO's actually a win ahead. So, that's worth noting. How do you see this one going?
Well, Charizard and Venusaur's always... I find that kind of an interesting matchup, as Charizard could run, like, Aerial Ace. I've seen some weird things. I feel like Flare Blitz is just too superior, even with the ability.
Yeah.
I've seen this one play out a few times.
So, it is worth noting, I forgot to mention this, but I've just seen it on my other screen, that Okami has dropped his stack attacker for Gyarados, and made that Gyarados a Z-Captain. And Shadow, of course, no longer has the X-Cloud, he's got his Typhlosion back, and he's changed Tornadus to Zydogo for a Z-Captain. Which could make...
Which is a little weird to me.
I mean, it could make Dragon Dance Z Outrage Zydogo the plan, because that will outspeed the Megazord X. I believe Zydogo outspeeds Megazord X naturally, so that is something to bear in mind. Of course, if they both try to Dragon Dance, the Z Outrage will hit pretty hard. Obviously, you're going to be wasting that if you hit it into a Whimsicott.
Yeah, you might be more tempted to use Ground as it hits everything after Charizard Megas.
Yeah.
Oh, obviously he's got Gyarados, I just realised.
Yeah, I just mentioned that. Gyarados could be interesting. Could be an interesting factor. Obviously, he does get Ice Fang, which does kill the Zydogo most of the time. Does also dissuade things like Druddigon. Does also get Earthquake for things like Nihilego, so that could be an interesting situation. Although I do expect if Nihilego does come, it's probably Scarfed. Because Scarf Nihilego actually hits a lot of this team. The only thing it doesn't realistically hit that well is Scizor, and even Scizor doesn't want to take like a rock move.
Yeah, I also wonder if he's thinking about Trick Room, but the Slowbro is a bit a Don fan. Could potentially fight him back on that.
I mean, Trick Room Celesteela is a thing. I have seen it before. And Shadow is the kind of person I wouldn't be at all be surprised to see that tech working. Because Shadow is obviously very good at this tech.
Wait, it learns Trick Room?
No, but Slowbro does.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But you can abuse Celesteela and Trick Room by running like a Minsky nature.
Yep.
So I'll be interested to see what he goes for. See, the problem is Akami's another one that's a hard one to judge because I've not seen enough of them. Depending on how Shadow plays, I think he has a chance to win this one. But it's a close one. It's a close run matchup. I think I'm gonna err on the side of my fellow admin in case he flames me on Discord, so I think I have to go for Shadow.
I'm gonna back Akami in this one.
Alright, so you're the one that's gonna get flamed. Have fun. Right. Alright, are you ready for this one, Trancel? I think this one's gonna be a fun one. Alright, the last battle is the battle between yours truly is here. So, because we are number 1 and number 2 in the league, and this does depend on Exo versus Akami's match. We are pretty much guaranteed to be number 1 and number 2 after this match anyway. So, because we're friends and we've known each other for a while, we decided we were going to have a little bit of fun. We talked about this before we started recording this match, and I proposed to Trancel, aside from banning Megas, how fun would it be if we banned a Pokemon from the other team so they're not allowed to use it? And Trancel agreed. We haven't actually told each other which Pokemon we're banning yet. I have a funny feeling I can guess what he's going to ban from my team, but either way. So, for this particular match, there's not really much we can say without giving too much away for either of us, really. So, I think I'll let you just say your ban first, and then I'll tell you mine.
I actually didn't hear that part about no Megas.
Yeah.
And I was gonna ban Mega Aerodactyl.
Of course you were. Of course you were.
But I have a second one, and it's Infernape.
Ooh, that's not the one I thought you were gonna ban. Okay. I've got a choice now, because that kind of puts me in a weird position. Because I'm just thinking, why the heck did you ban Infernape? Oh, I can kind of guess why you might ban it.
Just how versatile it is.
Yeah. So now I've got a difficult decision, because I'm thinking I could ban the Lando T. Because I don't have an Ice type on my team. So that could be a thing. I could ban Kyurem, because Kyurem's really annoying. And now you ban my Infernape, I might have to ban Kyurem. And then, of course, there is that small issue of that Zeraora.
Hi. Clock ticking.
See, originally I was going to straight ban Zeraora, right? Because Zeraora is obviously extremely fast. The rest of your team, I think your next fastest is like 115 speed, if I remember right.
Yeah, version.
Speed's version?
I don't think there's anything.
Yeah, 115.
115.
So. But now you ban my Infernape away from me. That Kyurem suddenly looks better. Although, that being said, I think there's a way I can still beat the Kyurem without Infernape. So on this occasion, I'm going to ban Zeraora. I think Zeraora will get banned. Which is a risk. There's definitely a lot of risk in there, because Kyurem and Lando T is still a problem. And I've still got to figure out how the hell I'm going to beat both of those without Infernape now. But yeah, that's going to be it for the bans, of course, so it's going to be a lot of fun. And of course, we're finally putting Trancel off of that Zeraora, which is nice. It's already got 19 kills. I don't want it to have any more. It's practically got more kills than 3/4 of my team, if I remember right. Yeah, like my kill leader right now is my Cresselia, which is funny to me. It's got 9 kills. But yeah, that's gonna be it from our Pickems, of course. Obviously, we're going to back each other. Just kidding. We're going to back ourselves. So, so yeah, that's going to be the fun one for us. I can't wait to see what Trancel brings against me now that he hasn't got Zeraora anymore. I
Didn't need it anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be fun, because funny enough, actually, in my original team build idea, I didn't even have Infernape on my team. So, just to let you know that. But yeah, either way, it's going to be fun. I'm looking forward to playing that match this week. Hey, thank you, of course, Trancel, for joining me as always, and I'll see you in the battle.
Yeah. Yep.
Alright, and we are gonna get on out of here. My name is Rabombi Teacher. I'm your coach of the Royal Bournemouth Rabombis. Stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys next time. Take care.